Hey everyone, I am Jason Crandell. Welcome to Glow. And to be completely honest, I could not use this class more right now. So it's a dissolve stress flow. And there's really just two, maybe three quick things I want to say in setup. First, those of you that practice or train with me consistently know that I often like to engage the muscles that are stretching a little bit to build strength in that flexibility. But today, we're not going to use that. Today, when we're lengthening, I want us to have more yield, more surrender, more let go, because I want to decrease just the overall tension and tone in the body. So today we're going to unwind it even in the context of flow. Number two, we're going to bring a little bit more emphasis to the exhalation. And periodically, I'll remind you that it's really nice to exhale through the mouth. In vinyasa-based yoga, we usually try to keep a regulated tempo of breath through the nose throughout the continuity of practice. But there'll be plenty of times I ask you to just exhale and let go. And then the final thing is we're just going to do stuff, to be honest, that feels good. What feels good is kind of subjective, but we're not going to do a bunch of core stuff. We're just going to move. We're going to breathe. We're going to do repetitions. We're going to try to unwind some tightness throughout the whole body. Okay. I often like to start this way, everybody. Sit with the legs wide. There's a lot of context in which I like to start like this. And I start like this on a fair amount of Glow classes, right? So just start with the legs wide, fingertips to the floor behind you, chest up. We're not looking right now for maximal ranges. We're looking for just like a light, soft quality of movement. So to begin with, take your right hand to the left shin. Stay there, inhale. Then exhale, take your left hand to your right shin. Stay there, inhale. Exhale, right hand to left shin or base of right big toe, but don't make it too tough. Stay here, inhale. Exhale, left hand to right shin or to base of right big toe. Stay here, inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Now, same side movement, right hand to right shin, left arm up and overhead in a side bend instead of a twist. Stay here, inhale. Exhale, left hand to left shin. Reach the right arm overhead. Good. Stay here, inhale. Exhale, right hand to right shin or bend the right elbow, forearm to the floor inside the shin. Reach the left arm overhead. Stay here in a side bend. Inhale. Exhale all the way up. Left hand to left shin or left forearm to the floor inside the shin. Reach the right arm into a side bend. Stay here. Inhale. Then exhale, come all the way up to center. Lean back, right shin in front of left shin. Simple forward fold. Now, as you take this simple forward fold, everyone, go a little bit side to side. So we won't be here long, just maybe 2 breaths. So slow, steady in-breath through the nose. You can exhale through the nose or through the mouth, but keep yourself moving this a little bit side to side. Nice. And then slowly sit up. Keep the hands or the shins where they are. Left hand to right shin, right fingertips to the floor behind you. Lift your chest up. Exhale, simple twist to the right. Nice. Stay here. Inhale. Then exhale, come back to center. Keep the legs where they are. Take your right hand a big step off to the right. Left arm goes over here, nice over the ear, nice simple side bend. Stay here, inhale. Then exhale, come back up to center. Lean back, left shin in front of right shin. Easy forward bend. And what I mean by an easy forward bend is once you get to that first layer of resistance, just pause. Don't fight against it. Instead, go side to side and breathe. So really what we're looking for, everybody, is to come up to a threshold demand, meet it, and find a little bit of relaxation there. Good. Nice and slowly sit up. Right hand to left shin, left fingertips to the floor behind you. Lift the lower back, rotate your chest to the left. Stay here for one more inhalation. Then exhale, untwist. Left hand, big reach out to the left. Right arm goes overhead, little side bend. Nice. Stay here. One more inhalation. Then exhale, come back up to center. Tuck the legs underneath you, step back into down dog. And right away in down dog, bend the left knee deeply, drop the right heel, draw it down and back. So instead of alternating, bicycling the legs, keep the left knee bent a little longer. Descend the right heel, reach through both arms, roll your sitting bones slightly up. Good. Stay with that. Relax the neck. Nice. And then 2 straight legs. And before we do the same thing on the second side, step the right foot forward between the hands, fingertips to the floor. And this is another pattern I use kind of all the time, especially when I'm looking for just a light warming up. I want to move the body, but I don't want to drain the battery. So from here, this is the pattern. We bring the back knee to the floor. Let the hips drop, lift the chest, kind of draw it forward. So we get a nice little opening in the left hip flexors. And then from there, we're just going to shift the hips back, raise the ball of the right foot. So we get a little length in the hamstrings. We're not exactly coordinating this with the breath. Like we're staying in the pose a tiny bit longer than a breathing cycle. Then rebend the front knee, shift the hips forward and down. So you're in this kind of like heavier lower Anjaneyasana with the fingertips on the floor. Keep that go a little side to side, right? And just follow your body naturally. If you want to lean a little bit more to one side or the other, please do. Then shift the hips back, raise the ball of the front foot so that you're in Ardha Hanumanasana, right? Stay here another moment. And then one more time, each movement within this side. So bend the front knee nice and deep, shift the hips forward and down. Fingertips are basing on the ground. I'm releasing the hips forward and down towards the front heel, like I'm trying to get into a deeper squat on that front leg. And then from there, shift the hips back, raise the ball of the front foot, Ardha Hanumanasana. Nice, everyone. Stay here. One more inhalation. Then exhale, straighten the back leg, step back into downward facing dog. Then right from this down dog, bend the right knee, and we're going to linger into the lengthening of the left calves, okay? So taking our time with everything, linger into those left calves. As you do that, press the floor away, so be assertive with the reach of the arms, and roll your sitting bones slightly up. Nice. Stay here, inhale. Exhale, 2 straight legs, heavy heels. Stay in down dog for another inhalation. Then exhale, left foot forward, right knee to the floor. And we kind of have this Anjaneyasana orientation, right? So I'm not lifting the chest and reaching the arms. My fingertips are staying on the ground, but I have this heavier low lunge with the back knee bent, sitting towards the front heel. Good. And then raise the ball of the front foot, walk the hands just a little bit back, lengthening your left calves. Nice. Stay with this. Sometimes I just unconsciously kind of rush the second side. So make sure not to do that. Bend the front knee, shift the hips forward and down. And again, in this low lunge, like for me, it feels good just to lean to a side and then lean to the other side and create a little lateral sway. It's always soothing to me. Nice. And then shift the hips back. Raise the ball of the front foot, Ardha Hanumanasana. Get a nice length in those left hamstrings. One more time, hips forward and down in this low lunge. You can let the hips, you can either kind of just pause, let time suspend and go still, or sway. Both are good options. And then shift the hips back, low lunge. Not low lunge, Ardha Hanumanasana. Nice. And then from there, step back, downward facing dog. Now from down dog, just like you did earlier, bend the left knee, right leg straight. So it's the same thing that you did earlier, second time, first side, but a little difference here, okay? So keep doing exactly what you're doing to begin with. Left knee's bent, right leg is straight. keep that. The only thing I want you to do is I want you to spin the right heel in towards the center of the mat and bring the bottom of the right foot to the floor. And sometimes when people do that, we'll like just do strange things with the legs, right? But your left leg's not changing at all. Look at your left leg. It's the knees bent. The right leg, it's just straight. You just turn that right heel in until it comes to the floor. Now, as you do this, everybody, look under your right armpit. Turn the front rim of your pelvis and your navel slightly to the right and press your right outer hip up and back. Nice. Stay with that for another inhalation. Then as you exhale, normalize down dog. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Back knee to the floor like earlier, but unlike earlier, both hands to the front knee. So today, let's keep this like more old school, heavy forward and down position of the hips. Reach just your left arm up, okay? Now, bend your left elbow and with your left hand, cup the back of your skull, okay? So as you cup the back of your skull, with your head, with your skull, gently press back into the hand to help the chest lift and that spine move into just a nice, easy little back bend. Nice. Stay here. Inhale. Then exhale. Take the left hand to the floor. Walk the front foot a little wider. Bend the back knee. Right hand reaches back to hold the back foot. Now from here, if possible, everybody, bend the left elbow, bring the left forearm to the ground, okay? As you do this, lean your top shoulder back. So I'm rolling the front of my right shoulder up. I'm drawing my shoulder blades a little down. I'm leaning my head slightly back. Nice. Stay here. One more inhalation. Exhale, release that. Then before you switch, bring both forearms to the floor so that you're in more of a, just like a more conventional lizard lunge. Now, if you don't have the range of motion to do this, to keep both forearms to the floor, you can do the same thing, but a little higher up. So your forearms don't have to be on the floor. Your arms can be straight. Now from here, just straighten the back leg. So you're in a lizard lunge, but the back leg's straight. So you're working a little bit more. Nice. Forearms press down, bring the chest a little forward. Stay here. Inhale. Then exhale, draw back to down dog. And before we do that cycle on the second side, inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, draw back, downward facing dog. Integrating breath a little bit more now. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, back to down dog. Keep breathing. And in down dog, just stick with my cues, okay? Bend the right knee. That's the only thing that's changing. So make sure to just see, look at your left leg. Your left leg is straight. Your right knee is bent. It's going to stay that way. Those factors are not changing. Now, turn your left heel into the bottom of the left foot comes to the floor. Look under your left armpit very mildly. With your navel and your hip points, just kind of turn to the left. Draw your left outer hip up and back. Nice. Stay with that. Another inhalation. Then exhale, come back to center. Step the left foot forward between the hands, right knee to the floor, both hands to the front knee. And again, we're taking this more like heavy, low, disengaged, kind of surrendered quality to the pose. Right? Now from there, keep your left hand on the left knee. That's just a nice simple base. Reach your right arm up, bend your right elbow, and just cup the back of the skull. Now, as you do this, everybody, I want you to use your head. So press the head gently back into the hand. And that's going to help that chest go a little bit up and move the spine a little bit more into extension, which is what we want in this version today. Stay here. Inhale. Exhale, right hand to the floor. Wiggle the front foot a little bit wider. Bend the back knee. Left hand reaches back to catch the foot. You can stay on the right arm, but I see a lot of people that stay up on the arm that could very easily bend the elbow and be on the forearm. So be mindful and responsive to your body and what's appropriate for it. But if you can bring the right forearm to the ground, it's just a little more comfortable. You can kind of rest a little bit more into it. Nice. Stay here. Another inhalation. You can lead the head back slightly. Nice. Now from there, let the back leg go. Bring the left forearm to the floor. So your chest is now facing downward. Instead of being turned out towards the front leg, your chest is facing downward. And if you don't have this range, you can take the forearms on blocks, or it's totally fine to be up on straight arms. Just be responsive to yourself, okay? Don't be too stubborn. Back leg straight. And so it's always like a fine line between like holding yourself to a demand, and yet at the same time being responsive and titrating that demand to actually meet the moment of what you need. That's a huge skill. Good. Take a breath. And then as you're ready, walk back, downward facing dog. Now we're going to keep the same tone with everything, but we're going to integrate now a little bit more overt breath, movement, and just kind of like try to cycle through the breath. Okay. So from down dog, inhale. Then exhale, walk forward into a standing forward bend. Then as soon as you get into that front bend, take the feet a little bit wider than the hips. So maybe about mat width, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. It's you can just kind of play with it. Turn the feet slightly out, bend the knees, and come into a squat garland pose. And then in this squat garland pose, go ahead and just rock a little bit side to side if you can. I don't have a ton of mobility in my squat. Like I have a fine squat, but I don't have a ton of mobility. So I can't go very far, but even this just slight lateral motion, I think for me is not only comforting, but it gets me out of my tendency to just like rush on to the next thing, right? It just kind of helps me linger a little bit. Now, with the feet hip width apart, so you're going to transition into feet hip width apart, standing forward bend, knees bent a little bit, interlace the fingers, stretch the arms up towards the ceiling. Good. Stay with that for another moment, just getting to the front of those shoulders. Nice. And then keep that interlace. Come all the way up to standing. And keeping that interlace, press the feet down, lift the chest. So it's almost like you're doing a standing locust pose, right? And you're not working too much, but you're just airing out the chest, right? You can start to add a little bit of a back bend and then keep doing that, everybody, but let the interlace go. Take the thumbs to the top rim of the buttock, elbows in, and just a nice, comforting little standing back bend. Nice. Stay with that for another moment, just savoring that little standing back bend. Nice. Keep breathing here. And then bring your torso upright, hands together in prayer in front of you. Okay. 2 half salutations where instead of a forward bend, we go into that same squat. So inhale, stretch your arms up, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, come down into a squat. Nice. Inhale, stay in the squat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up, reach through your ring fingers. Exhale, hands to prayer, same pattern. Inhale, stretch up, a little standing back bend. Exhale, hands in prayer, come straight down through the standing squat. Stay in the squat, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up, lift the ribs, reach the arms. Exhale, hands to prayer. Then salutations, where we integrate some of the movements that we've already done. So inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, nice and easy. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. Then exhale, fingertips to the mat, raise the right leg up and back. So you come into a moment of a standing split. Nice. Stay here in this moment of a standing split. Inhale. Then exhale, step the right foot back, bring the right knee down, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, lift the hips, reach the arms. Exhale, fingertips to the floor, half Hanumanasana. So shift the hips back, raise the ball of the foot. We're not going to go faster than this, okay? So just take your time. Take another inhalation. Then exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Nice. Now from down dog, inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale, bring the knees to the floor, lower everything else. Cobra. Take your time, roll the chest up. And then in Cobra, keep breathing and go a little side to side. Like you might even straighten one elbow, keep the other elbow bent, kind of like go side to side. Nice. And then shift back onto all fours, then back into downward facing dog. So sometimes the autopilot mode that I'm not disrespecting, I actually like in Vinyasa yoga to have some autopilot, right? But instead of us being kind of in that autopilot mode of like everything being really tempoed out, you're lingering over things a little bit more slowly today. Good. From there, raise the right leg, inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee down, hips heavy and low today. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fingers to the mat. Shift the hips back, raise the ball of the front foot. Ardha Hanumanasana. Nice. Stay with that. Inhale. Then exhale, bring that foot down. Step the back foot forward. Hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, reach the arms. Then exhale, interlace the fingers behind your back. So you are standing up in Tadasana, but those fingers are interlaced like you're doing that standing locust. And then now into that standing back bend again. So hands to the top of the buttock or below the thighs. Good. Another breath, standing back bend. Then bring your torso upright, hands in prayer. Second side, inhale, stretch your arms up, reach. Exhale, fold, feel the movement, relax the mind into the motion, right? Take your time. Inhale, lengthen through your back. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Hips are kind of heavy and low. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fingers to the floor, straighten the front leg. You just shift the hips back and raise the ball of the front foot. Stay here, inhale. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale to the floor for cobra. Couple breaths in cobra, okay? So not just the inhalation, but at the same time, try to keep the breath kind of timed out. And then again, that little bit of side to side. You play with one elbow staying bent and the opposite elbow straightening. Then back into downward facing dog. If we're going to do that another time or two, if it just proves to be too awkward, then you can stay in a conventional cobra or you can do another back bend from face down. But if it feels good to have a little bit of the non-linear movement, I always feel like it's nice. From down dog, inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, fingers to the mat. Straighten the front leg, shift the hips back so you're lengthening your left hamstrings. Nice. Stay with that. Another inhalation. Exhale, front foot to the floor, step the back foot forward. Hands to shins, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Then bend the knees, come into Utkatasana, hands in prayer. Right outer ankle to left knee. Squat the hips down and back, okay? So now you're in Utkatasana with the hands in prayer, thumbs to breastbone, ankle to knee. Keep that, but just go fingertips to the floor so you just get a nice, good outer hip stretch. Nice. Stay with this another moment, another inhalation. Then as you exhale, you can kind of stay here, just slide the right foot out, reach the right leg up and back, and then step it back, right knee to the floor like earlier. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, this time right hand to the floor, left hand around behind you, low lunge quad stretch. Good. Post on that right hand, lean your chest back to open the top of the left shoulder. Stay there, inhale. Exhale, undo it. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale all the way to the floor for cobra. Now in cobra, take the hands a little wider than conventional, so about as wide as the mat, if not a little wider. And then see how that kind of side to side movement feels. Again, if it feels awkward or clunky, you don't have to do it, right? I'm not invested in you liking it. I'm invested in you experimenting with it. Good. And then draw back into downward facing dog. And I always feel like that when I'm playing with technique. I'm invested in the process of inquiry. I'm not necessarily invested in the outcome. If you inquire with different technique and you realize, the way I've always done it is the way I like it the most, I think that's a great outcome. That's not a problem. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee to the floor. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, left hand down. Right hand reaches back to catch the back foot. Stay here for a moment. Nice deep in breath. Really take in your time. Eyes soft, breath easy. Exhale, undo that. Step the back foot forward. Hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Stay here. Hold the elbows, knees bent. And as you continue to breathe, let the next couple of exhalations just release through the mouth, right? So again, just tempo, pace, exhalations through the mouth, and a focus a little bit more on just kind of softness, yielding, slightly non-linear movement, just to help empty everything out. Good. From here, inhale as you're ready, all the way up to standing, reach the arms. Exhale, hands to prayer. Same stuff, second side. Bend the knees. Left outer ankle to right knee. Drop the hips down and back. And then fingertips to the floor. So just a standing outer hip opener. Earlier on the second side, in an earlier salutation on the second side, I didn't do a standing split on this side. So we're going to kind of linger over that on this side in a moment. So take here another inhalation. Then exhale, you're just going to do whatever you need to do to get the left leg up and back. We did this when we came out on the first side, but let's linger over it a little bit more in a standing split so we kind of make up for my forgetfulness earlier. Nice. Take another inhalation. Exhale, step back knee to the floor. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Right hand reaches back to catch the foot, right? Stay with this. One more inhalation. Exhale, undo it. Step back to downward facing dog. Pause. Before we move on, just feel the feeling of the whole body. Let yourself exhale through the mouth and just kind of be mindful of your inner narrator. And just remind your inner narrator, like, hey, you're doing a good job. Like you're meeting the needs of the body. You're not putting a lot of demands. You're just moving and breathing and unwinding some of the layers we all build. So from down dog, inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale to the floor, cobra. Cobra pose for a breath or two. It can be a little more linear, or you can get a little bit more of that lateral movement. Then all fours back into downward facing dog. Nice. From downward facing dog, inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, right hand down. Left hand reaches back, low lunge quad stretch. Just take a moment. Slow, smooth, steady breathing. Anytime it feels good, just a long exhalation through the mouth. Nice. One more in-breath here. Then as you exhale, undo that. Step forward. Hands to shins, lengthen. Then exhale, bend the knees and transition into a squat. Good. Pause for a moment in the squat. And as we proceed, we're going to keep the flow. So we'll keep kind of routing through down dog, plank, and cobras. But we're going to, in between, instead of doing standing work, we're going to do seated hip openers and seated twists. Good. Transition into a standing forward fold. Relax the neck. Inhale all the way up to standing. Reach. Exhale, hands to prayer. Pause. And just take your time. You're just being in your body. Let the brain and the thinkings kind of get slower, and you're just attuning to sensation and feeling more than like thoughts, agendas, and plans. That's not easy for me to do. It's kind of why I practice yoga. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, however you want to get there, get to down dog. So you might just want to step back to down dog. You might want to add locust or cobra. You might want to add chaturanga if you want a moment of chaturanga and up dog. Good. And then from downward facing dog, step the right leg forward into pigeon, or if you prefer kind of a 90-90 sit with the right leg leading. And then from here, we're just going to go conventional forearms to the floor, forehead to the back of the hands. Let things get heavy and low. So this is kind of a little tricky, right? Because I want you to kind of tune down and decrease the tone of everything. Just kind of soften and melt into the pose, yield and be easeful. And at the same time, we're not quite yet going to sleep. Good. Stay here for just another moment. And then slowly sit partially up, lean to the right, swing the left leg around, bring the right heel to the left sitting bone, hands hold the left foot. So you're in kind of like a simplified version of Crandell. Now take a few moments in Crandell. For me, pressing the sitting bones up, keeping the legs straight, lifting the chest, keeping the elbows straight is my threshold. But those of you that have more range, you might catch the left wrist with the right hand beyond the foot. You might do a little bit more of a forward bend, right? Wherever kind of gets you to your threshold. Nice. Stay with that one more breath. And then from there, bend the left knee, step the left foot to the floor on the outside of the right knee. I'm going to give you an option in a moment. And then a nice simple twist to your left. So Ardha Matsyendrasana. If you have less range of motion or you have more density in your midsection, you're just going to take the left foot on its own side and then twist to the left. So the left foot might be to the outside of the right knee. Elbow might be to the outside of the knee. You might have some sort of binding or other position of the hand. Or foot might be on the same side. Right hand is on the right knee. You're leaning a little bit back and turning to the left. You're meeting the moment in the body that you have in this moment, right? I mean the body you have, but I also mean like the tone, the range, the energy, kind of like the profile of your physicality that's like showing up right now. Work with it. Nice. And then from here, undo it. Lean back, untangle the legs. Step back into downward facing dog. Nice. Take a moment. And then nice and slow with the flow. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale down to the floor. One breath in cobra. Inhale in cobra. Exhale, draw back, downward facing dog. Nice. Stretch through all four limbs. Inhale. Exhale, left leg forward. Pigeon, or left leg forward and more of like a 90-90 sit if you have trouble with that knee. Or if you don't know that and you're looking for something else to deal with some complexity in your knee, just a simple like seated ankle to knee should work. Okay, or a reclined version. Of all of the details and nuances and like little trade craft I like to incorporate in this pose, today just let it go. Because man, no detail is really that important in anything if we can't also just relax and surrender. We can spend forever accumulating details. And sometimes there's value in that, but for now, just a couple of exhalations through the mouth, head heavy on the hands. Good. Stay with that one more breath. And then now lean to the left. We're just going to swing the right leg out in front of us. And it's so simple. We just bring the left heel back. If you have a little less range, sit on a block or a bolster or something. Catch the right foot. Crandell. And like I said, right now in Crandell, with my sitting bones pressing down and my torso upright and my arms straight, it's plenty, right? This is my working threshold. If you have more threshold and you can bring the torso towards the leg and the leg towards the torso, go for it. If you have less working threshold, bend the knee. As long as you are working skillfully with the you that's here, that's good practice. Good. Another breath here. And then now bend that knee and we have our options. We have the right foot to its own side, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, or we have right foot stepping over, elbow to the outside of that knee. You might even have a range and proficiency in a bind here. Good. Another moment. No urgency about anything. Nice. One more inhalation. Then exhale, undo it. Uncross, kind of like get the legs to their own side. Then step them back, downward facing dog. Pause. Let the eyes close and just feel your whole body. Nice. And then like it's just a breath practice. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale to the floor for cobra. Cobra pose, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Good. Stay here, another inhalation. Then as you exhale, we're going to start the same way. Right leg forward, pigeon. And this is going to be pretty brief, but we're going to go left forearm to the ground. Bend the back knee, right hand reaches back for the foot. Then with that right hand, very gently guide the heel towards the sitting bone. So pigeon pose, mild twist to the right in that pigeon pose, meets low lunge quad stretch. Good. Stay here. Another inhalation. Then exhale, release the back leg. Square off so your forearms are on the ground. And then from here, just like we did kind of on the other side, we're going to lean to the right. But instead of bringing the left leg around, we're just going to kind of roll into more of a setup for Janu Shirshasana. So from that pigeon, we're going to roll up. We're going to roll the back of the left thigh and heel to the ground. And we'll bring the right heel to the pubic bone with the most obtuse angle of the legs that we can. Then from here, just like we did really second pose, left forearm is going to left shin, right arm is going overhead and just like a nice, pretty accessible version of Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana. Or if you have more range, then right hand can go to the left foot, left hand can go to the right thigh. So you can take the left forearm to the ground, but I like to also take the hand to the opposite thigh. So left hand's going to right thigh. Good. Few moments here, just in whatever version of Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana is like working for you. You're breathing deliberately. And every once in a while, maybe now, it's a little longer exhalation through the mouth. Good. And then slowly sit up. Then you just kind of turn like you're going to go back towards a pigeon. Hands to the floor, step back, down dog. Pause in down dog and just feel. Just feel your whole body. Inhale, plank forward, rock forward to plank. I've said crazier things than that on a daily basis. All the way down, come to the floor. Cobra pose. And then draw back, downward facing dog. One of the scariest things about being a yoga teacher is you realize once in a while, people might actually be listening, right? Like, oh, I think that thing I said was a really strange thing or some gaffe. Left leg forward, pigeon. Nice. And then pigeon, pretty simple. Right forearm to the ground. So we have pigeon, we turn a little to the left towards the leading knee. Left hand comes around to catch that back foot. So we meet low lunge quad stretch. In this version of the pose, like the way we're working today, we're not trying to engage and strengthen at end range. That's my go-to way of working. But when I really need to drop tension and melt tension and unwind stress, then I don't favor that approach. I favor an approach where we can kind of like melt a little bit more. Good. Release the back leg. Then you're just going to roll to the left hip. Keep turning. So we have the legs set up for Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana. Okay. So I'm going to switch that up. So facing forward. And then little less range of motion. Those right fingertips might be on the floor. You might be reaching left arm more upright. A little more range of motion. That forearm might be to the knee. A little bit more range of motion. The left hand might be connecting to right toes. Flare that elbow, dip under it. Right hand to the far thigh. The most skillful thing you can do is work with your body in a way where you're presenting demand, but you're not breaking integrity, right? So the hardest thing is not always the best thing. It's not even the most productive thing. Sometimes it is. Sometimes we need to go there. But I want you to feel like you can kind of feel the shape. You can work at that threshold, but you're not sacrificing integrity. Nice. And slowly all the way up. Nice. And then you're just going to pivot back into downward facing dog. Nice. And then from down dog last time. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Exhale to the floor for cobra. Just the one breath. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, draw back, downward facing dog. Nice. From down dog, come all the way through to a sit. Sit with the legs wide, which is how we started. All right, sit with the legs wide. And then just for a moment, you're going to come forward into a forward bend. And like you've done at many different moments in this sequence, I want you to go forward till you hit like an easy wall, like a wall, but like a soft wall. And then from there, just go a little bit side to side, right? Just with the torso, go a little bit side to side. And those of you like me that like a lot of action, or a lot of like, not necessarily action, but a lot of active articulation in the postures, that is a very good thing. But now just feel like you can let everything rest a little bit more. Like you don't need these like booted out feet and these super articulated toes and this kind of long spine. Let everything have just a softer, more malleable feel to it. And then if you're still going a little side to side, pause. Let's get as still as you can get. But like a relaxed, spacious stillness, not like a tense, scared stillness. Good. And then slowly sit up. We have a couple of final minutes, and I want to lead you through just some really simple breathing. You are more than welcome to do that seated. You're more than welcome to do that reclined, okay? But I would love for you to stay with this and just let's walk through a little bit of breath work, okay? It's simplest little breath work. We're just going to inhale for about a 5-second count and exhale for about a 7 or an 8-second count. Okay, so exhalation just a little bit longer. The other thing that you can do from here, everybody, is just do Shavasana and completely ignore this, okay? And just let me hold the space for you for, it's about 2.5, 3 minutes, okay? So seated or reclined, participating with the breath, or I'm good, I just need to zone out for a minute or two, okay? So from here, if you're going to do the breathing with me, as you're ready, inhale. Then slowly exhale through your mouth. Just slow exhalation through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Slow exhalation through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Slow exhalation through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Slow exhalation through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, 3 more cycles. Slow exhalation through your mouth. You can find your own rate if this one doesn't work for you. Inhale through your nose. Slow exhalation through your mouth. Last time. Inhale through your nose. Slow emptying exhalation through your mouth. Good. And then just return to quiet everyday breathing for a few quiet moments. I'm going to close class now. I say at every class, you're more than welcome to stay as long as you'd like and as long as you're able to stay. Okay. I always say this, I always want class to feel good, but sometimes class is a little bit more like teachy, and it's not just about kind of the short term feeling good. It's like learning a skill set. But a class like today, I hope it feels good and it's just like immediately practical for you. Okay. As always, thanks a ton for practicing with me and letting me share a little bit of my knowledge and insight. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.